Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. Happy Thursday. Let's see who's in the chat, and then we'll get into this. I typically go over news or videos that, I would normally do by myself with everybody here. In case you are new to the channel, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Mr. Carl Coate in the chat. Good to see you. Nas City. We have Andrew Masad. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Game with Smokey Dan. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the compliment on the crypto merch. I actually made a few new things over the past couple days. So if you guys are interested, links in the pinned right up above the live chat. Chris Harris, good morning. Good to see you. All set, my man. Ovalbore. Brian Hollywood, haven't seen you in a minute, buddy. I bet you've been working super hard. Let's see who else is here. Tim I Am Crypto, good morning. D Geppetto, what's up, bud? Here by service, Sasquatch Crap, love that name. FA Crypto Barber, Steven Cicero, appreciate you all. All right, let's get into this. See what we're looking like today for the market. Bitcoin 43,507, much better than the 42 that it was yesterday, but we needed a pull back to reality. I guess we had too much hype, and I think it was because BlackRock had to purchase some Bitcoin, but who knows? I guess if you guys know, let me know in the live chat. Ethereum looks like 22.43. We have Dogecoin at 8 cents, 8.2 to be exact. We have XRP at 58 cents. Solana just under $100 at 99.40. We have TIA, it looks like the only one that's really in the deep green, about 18% up today at $14. Let's see, Kaspa is down to 10.49, basically 10.5 cents, just about. Injective is at $36, up 6.85%. AVAX is at $37, down a little bit. ADA 56 cents, not too bad. Honestly, everything else looks fairly well. Injective is actually 36.87. Let's see, really nothing else is like popping out at me. Let's go over to Crypto Bubbles, see what we got here. Crypto Bubbles on the day. Biggest earner of the day looks like Beam. Beam is up 33.6% at 2 cents, 217. Nice. A little bit of a pump there. We have Kaspa too. Wow, Kaspa's in the top 100 now. Looks like it came up 7 ranks. Rank 98, 13.6% up. This is Kaspa, not Kaspa. Good morning, Mining Meister. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let's see what else. We have Clayton, is that how you say that? 88, ranked 88, down 23.1%. It looks like it's at 20 cents, just under 21 cents. Let's see. So again, Celestia is up on the day, $14.55, up 21%. We have SEI. This has actually been a trending coin. SIA, if that's how you say that, I'm not even sure. I think it is. Ranked 44, 80 cents. This one's been trending on CoinGecko though for last couple days actually. Does anybody hold this? And if so, where can you hold it? Because I was looking last night and I wasn't sure what kind of wallet you needed. Maybe just some sort of DeFi exchange, maybe. I'm not sure if it's even DeFi, to be honest. I don't know anything about it really, but I did look to see if it was held on any of the wallets that I own, and it was not. But sometimes there is actually a neat trick that you can add pretty much any coin to your Tangem wallet. If you guys are interested, Tangem up actually in the description below, 10% off, code CCXD. You can add literally anything that's on like a main chain like Ethereum, Solana, which is pretty interesting, and there's a way to do it, and I'll show you guys. Actually, I'm going to do it in a video at some point if you guys are interested in that. Overall, everything looks pretty good though. Let's look at the week, see what's up. Biggest on the week is SIA, which would make sense why it's trending again. Looks like we're 80 cents, 66.6% up. The devil. We have ASTR. What is this? Astar 72, ranked 72, up 26.7% on the week. ICP's up 46.9% on the week. We have Maker right here, up 13% at ranked 48. Again, this is on the week. And Kaspa overall is 17.9%, Beam 15.4%, again on the week. All right, let's check out the Fear and Greed Index, looking like a 68. Honestly, pretty neutral, nothing too concerning until we get over 75. All right, we have top 10 coins over here by coin market cap on CoinGecko. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana. Looks like those two flipped again. XRP, we have USDC, Lotto Staked Ether, Cardano, and Avalanche still in 10th place. Dogecoin still holding in 11th, which is I'm gonna be shocked if Polkadot doesn't flip it at some point. It's only $1.7 billion market cap away, so it's probably gonna come at some point soon. Kind of unfortunate. We need someone to tweet about it. ICP is doing great. Andrew Masad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trade like snipe. Good morning, sir. Good morning. We have Crypto Frank. What's up? Glad I caught the stream. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Bitcoin Cash looks like it's in 23rd. We have Litecoin, which is, in my opinion, severely undervalued at $65 in 22nd place, $4.8 billion market cap. Let's see. Keep scrolling down. Just check if there's any that are really popping out at me. Ethereum Classic is in 36th, actually still holding above Immutable and Monero at $2.8 billion market cap. Monero's in 37th, like I stated. We have 40 for Kaspa. Kaspa's actually still holding pretty well at 10.5 cents at $2.3 billion market cap. Let's see. There's this coin right here, Sia, if that's how you say that. Ranked 48, 78 cents. Again, a lot of people have been talking about this coin. I guess it has some legs to stand on, but only time will tell. If anybody knows where to hold this, please let me know. I appreciate it. I got to look into it myself personally, but is what it is. All right, let's get into the mining segment of things. Check out the ASICs. Which ones are earning the most over here on minetheasic.com? Let's see. We have the WinMiner K9 10.3 terahash Kaspa miner, $90.85 a day at 10 cents kilowatt hour. It's actually really good, but it's really bad for where it was about a month ago, unfortunately. We have the KS3 Ice River. Let's see. This is the 8 terahash unit, 3200 watts. Looks like you're getting 731 Kaspa a day, 6904, which is just getting worse and worse. Man, under 70 bucks. Crazy. We have the Ice River KS3M 6 terahashes. Looks like 49.38 per day. We have the KS2 2 terahashes making $16.30 a day. That's rough. That's rough. Well, as Max Voltage would say,
this hash rate's going bonkers.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right, let's see. KS1 Ice River 1 terahash, $8 a day. Oh my god, it's so terrible. So terrible. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look, but I'm gonna because I have 8 of them next to me. We have the Ice River Kaspa KS0 Pro 200 gigahashes making $1.68 a day. That is terrible. But at the end of the day, it's still very low wattage, so it is pretty profitable. I can't complain, to be honest. It's fine. It is what it is. I like to support the projects that I believe in, and I do think Kaspa has great utility at some point. All right, let's see. I actually just sent my 9050 Antminer L7, which is this guy right here, over to Terra Hosting, getting $5.05 a day at 10 cents kilowatt hour. I believe they charge 11 cents if I'm not mistaken as of right now, and the prices will be going down. But I actually did that because this thing's been off for months, and it makes total sense to get these things hosted if you guys have a shitty electric rate like me. It's super unfortunate that National Grid around here sucks, but is what it is. I can't shop my rate. It's just you getting hosed. That's pretty much it. No spit, no lube, straight fist. Let's see. Brian Hollywood, what's up, buddy? He said, where's the Alethea merch? Yes, you know what, I need to add that to the chart, actually. I mean, to the crypto merch. Let's see, right here. I actually just added these ones the last couple days. I designed these. They're pretty much designs that have been out there, but I just kind of remade them. And this one I actually purchased, so I added this one to the store, but I made all these other ones. So if you guys have any interesting like, I don't know, just designs that you'd like to see, please let me know. But yeah, I need to add a few more coins like Alethea and some other stuff here. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see. ALPH. Let's go and check this out. Alethea, how's it doing? $1.42. Damn, 26.8%. This is in 24 hours. Holy shit. Man, I was gonna buy some yesterday too, and I didn't. Man, talk about a run up, huh? Let's see. Oh, it was like 10 cents or so, but that's still pretty damn good. Jeez, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. It went up like 40 cents. Went to $1.50. Wow. $1.50 at some point this morning. That's crazy. Aletheium's doing really good. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. And this is one of those coins you can actually add into your Tangent wallet if you guys are interested. You really can. And I'm going to be doing that video at some point, hopefully today. I don't know. I got to spend some time with my kids, so we'll see. Anyways, let's check out some GPU mining and see what is the most profitable today. We have Pyron. Looks like top of the charts for the 4090. And AIPG is still on the top of the charts for pretty much everything. Wow. This is actually really good for a kapow algorithm. I mean, you're gonna be spending a lot in electricity, but at the same time, man, this thing's making quite a bit. $2.43 on a 3080 Ti. Damn, I have one of these in my house too. I should probably get it on there. I don't know though, I just can't do kapow, man. I'm gonna be paying like out the ass. Let's see, what is Lithium doing? Honestly, I don't know. It could just all be off hype. I know there's the anticipation of a Bitmain ant miner of some sort, hopefully coming out, like a ASIC for a Lithium, but I don't know how true that is. It's just kind of talks right now. I know DJ Mines had a good he had a real good interview with one of the developers over there. This lady that works for Lithium has been there for a while, and she was mentioning they wanted to get geared towards ASIC mining at some point. So I don't know, we're gonna have to see where that goes. Let's see, you need to tell your CFO Pocket Change to make these buys so they can get done. Make these buys. Oh yeah, Lithium. I know. You know what? Well, I've been focused on honey, actually. Let's look at honey. So some pretty big news. If you guys don't know honey, this is Hivemapper. All right, Hivemapper has actually been on a tear the past like month, and then it took some sort of pullback. Let's see, let's go to max chart real quick. So this thing hit actually 37 cents all-time high. These charts on CoinGecko suck ass. They're so bad. They really are. But all-time high was about 37 cents, right? So 37 cents from like 2 cents in the middle of November. Actually, it was November 20th. It was at 2 cents, and this shit skyrocketed literally to 37 by like beginning of December. First week or two in December, 37 cents this thing hit, almost out of nowhere. You'd see ads on Facebook, you'd see ads on Twitter, just everywhere for this Hivemapper, which is kind of crazy. And I was like, man, I wonder what's going on. And then yesterday we actually got some news. So Coinbase is actually going to be adding a new altcoin, and the new altcoin is going to be honey, Hivemapper honey. This is according to last minute development. Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the US, added Hivemapper honey altcoin to its roadmap to examine it for listing. Honey is a small altcoin with a market cap of 57 million, is not traded on any major exchanges. That is a big deal. Coinbase is a big deal in general for something like this. So I would be shocked if we don't see some sort of run up. So if you guys don't have a Hivemapper, links in the description below. If you guys are interested, you save like 10% off. I've never gotten a dime from them, but you will get 10% off, code CCXD. It is just I don't know, it's a good gamble. It really is a good gamble. There was Mr. Rick, Mad Electron Engineering, has made a killing off of Hivemapper. He made like, I think it was like the biggest he had was like $1,200 in a week. In a week from him driving. He's a truck driver. He made more than his damn job, like for real. It's insane. And yeah, delivery in April. Yeah, it sucks, right? So ordering Hivemapper, let me see, let's go to this. Yeah, hold on. Hivemapper, if I could type today. Apps is on. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, you see Geek of All Trades? He was down there. What am I doing? All right, let's see. Oh, buy a dash cam right here on sale. So I actually bought another one last night. I bought another one. I mean, this one's kind of cool, but like it's double the price. I'm all set. I just bought this one because this one pays out just as well. It's $300. I think I paid with shipping, it was $285. I bought one for my wife's truck just because it's worth having, and I'd like her to get in on it too. So before these go back up to $500, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna order one. But the only shitty downfall on it is you're gonna be waiting for it for like a couple months, right? So it said like April or May, or maybe, I don't know, it was either March, April, or May batch that I got last night. I can't remember, to be honest, but either way, a couple months kind of sucks to wait, but it's no different than like waiting for them helium miners. You guys remember those? You'd wait like 6-8 months to get them. At least these things actually pay out though. That's the thing. So I can't complain. I hope actually, you know what, I'm gonna go driving around today a little bit with the kids during nap time, get some honey token, because they do pay out well. And man, I swear, it was like I drove back and forth to Home Depot a few times, and I got like $200 like 2 weeks ago, and then I just like died with COVID. So that happened. But yeah, I haven't driven at all last week, so I didn't get any payouts this week. But I did swap some altcoins that I have just into honey, because I do think that this is really a big deal, to be honest. All right, let's get into some of the news of the day. Wall Street finally buying Bitcoin. Mr. Anthony Pompliano was over on Fox Business. Guys, that like button, appreciate you guys for hanging out. Let's do it. Oh, jeez. It's loud.
Bitcoin's on blast. For the first time since April of 2022, it zoomed past the 45,000 mark today and came within $78 of 46,000 before retreating, but we're still above 45,000 at 45,186 right now after being crowned the...
This isn't right now, obviously. This was like a day and a half ago. But anyways, I like to listen to what Anthony Pompliano has to say.
Best performing asset class of 2023, Bitcoin's prowess continues into the new year, boosted in great part by Wall Street speculation. The Securities and Exchange Commission is within days, like 3 days, of approving at least one of the 13...
She's wrong. We have 6 days from today. Well, I guess it would be 5 more days, right? The 10th. Supposed to be getting approvals.
Spot
hopefully.
Bitcoin ETF applications. But what then happens to the price of Bitcoin once we do see an approval? Let's bring in one of Bitcoin's biggest bulls and an early investor in the crypto space, Pomp Investments, Anthony Pompliano.
Holy shit, Mr. Real quick, sorry, in the chat, we have Mr. Carl Coate said he made $550 last week with Hivemapper, with that dash cam that you just put in your car and it costs you literally nothing to run.
Perfect.
Insane.
Right.
Congrats,
so
buddy.
Here's what we're hearing, and here's what you predicted just a couple of months ago on the Claim and Countdown. You said it would be a bunch of them.
Yes.
And let them all fight it out. Charlie Gasparino's sources saying Kathy Wood of ARK Investments, because her application was officially done first. My sources were telling me BlackRock, GBTC, and Kathy Wood. All right, who's it going to be? Have you changed your opinion at all?
I don't know exactly who's going to go first. What I think they should do is they should approve everyone, right? If you're going to allow the free market to make decisions in this country, then we shouldn't have regulators picking winners and losers. We don't need kingmaker. Just approve everyone, let them go fight it out. Now, what's interesting...
If they do pick one, it's probably going to be BlackRock, but I would assume they're going to pick at least all of them, or at least these three right here, right? They're the biggest ones: ARK Invest, BlackRock, and Grayscale.
Thing is, there's estimated between $50 billion and $100 billion of assets that are going to go into these ETFs over the coming years, which means that the fee revenue every year could be $500 million to $1 billion.
That's
and
crazy.
So if you do that, that's $500 million to $1 billion every single year. How much money would you spend now to get those assets and have them be sticky? We're probably going to see hundreds of millions of dollars spent on marketing in the next 12 to 18 months by these Wall Street organizations saying, hey, if you want to buy a spot Bitcoin ETF, come buy it with me and not my competitors. And I think that is just something that we haven't seen in finance. It's going to be the greatest marketing blitz ever.
Would you invest in a piece of the ETF, or would you invest in BlackRock stock or ARK or perhaps GBTC? Well,
That's actually kind of a good question, actually.
GBTC is going to convert up just, one for one there. So
Bitcoin has been an incredible asset. It's highly volatile. It goes up and it goes down a lot. But if you look over a long period of time, it continues to go up. And, if you really think about it from a generational trade, every single generation has kind of one trade or one investment idea that tends to be the big winner. And I think that this generation has woken up to the idea that we have to debase the currency. We are going to continue to do that for decades to come. And so you're going to get into hard assets. Bitcoin historically has been the big winner there. It's up 170% last year. I think people believe it's going to go up a lot more in 2024 and beyond.
But let me you had just said that marketing and fees will bring huge windfalls to the ARKs and the BlackRocks of the world.
Yes.
So why take your shot with something as volatile as Bitcoin? And instead, why not go into BlackRock stock or... So you're saying, no, don't do the ARK stock and don't do the...
People are still going to do that stuff. I just think Bitcoin has outperformed those stocks historically, and I think it'll continue to do for a long period of time. One thing people should remember is that when you buy the ETF, you are buying exposure to Bitcoin. You're not actually buying Bitcoin itself. Mm-hmm. And so then there gets into the constituency. Some people say, no, I want to own Bitcoin itself. I want to hold my private keys. I want to have that self-custody. But for a lot of people, they're not going to go sign up for a Coinbase account. They're not going to go figure out how to buy Bitcoin directly. And so this ETF's right in their brokerage account. They're going to go and they're going to allocate.
Well, it opens the market to millions of retail investors who don't want to have to remember a 90-digit password or something, and then you lose it, and it's a nightmare. With
that's kind of why the ETF is like a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing, right? There's going to be a lot coming into it. Overall, BlackRock is going to want to just control your Bitcoin, giving you a note saying, "Trust me, bro, I got you. You own this much." That's the downfall of it, because Bitcoin is not made to be centralized, and that's what they're trying to do. Yeah. But it's going to make it simple for people to get in
mind, what is your price target for Bitcoin in 2024 from low to high?
I don't know exactly where it's going to go in the short term when the ETF gets approved. There definitely is going to be a drastic increase. What I do not think is going to happen is it's very hard for me to see that we get a new all-time high just off of the ETF alone. What I do think is going to happen, though, is that we're going to get the Bitcoin halving at the beginning of Q2. We're also going to get interest rate cuts, and we're probably going to get quantitative easing in 2024 as well. And so,
that's actually a very good point. So actually, Network Bits made this point in the chat yesterday. He said ETF is just all BS right now. Everything is gonna go off of this halving. It's gonna repeat the same cycles that more or less we see every 4 years. Literally every 4 years, we see the same type of cycle. The ETF is just a crazy catalyst that's going to progress this thing like 10x, you know what I mean, or however many. It's just going to be crazy.
What you're going to have is you're going to have a demand shock and a supply shock, meaning that there's going to be more demand for Bitcoin. At the same time, that halving is going to occur. Right. We're going to go from 900 Bitcoin coming into the market every day down to 450. And so that is really going to drive the price. I do think we get a new all-time high in 2024, but it's the combination of all of these things, not just the ETF alone.
For people who don't know, the halving is written into the original code of Bitcoin, and it chops it in half every 5 years. Am I correct?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Okay. So 2023 was actually, let's broaden this discussion to the ugly underbelly of what happened in crypto. And that was, of course, what actually started in November of 2022. And that was the failure of Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange.
Yes.
And I mean, that was just a disaster. Obviously, FTX was a bad thing and that triggered a real sell-off in Bitcoin. But where do we go from here? Because he's been convicted.
Yes.
And he will serve most likely a somewhat lengthy, we don't know how long, but a lengthy prison sentence because it's federal and they have guidelines. And then you've got CZ, who also...
That's actually an interesting point. You know, because it's federal, I didn't realize that yesterday when I was like, oh, he's probably going to get 5 years and then get out. Ted actually made the good point yesterday too. He's probably going to get like 20, 25 years, but still... He's supposed to be serving a life sentence, more or less, over 100 plus years, like 120 or something crazy. He's going to get out in 25. All considering it's really not that bad.
At Binance, he ran Binance, and he has faced all kinds of charges. Are we done with that nonsense, or is it just like the old saying that there's a sucker born every minute, and you're going to definitely see people try and take advantage of that?
Bad people do bad things regardless of the industry. You know, one of the things that's really interesting is if you look at FTX basically took customer money, they went and they invested it and they lost it, right? And there's a whole bunch of questions as to why they did it, how they did it. But the big thing was they didn't tell customers they were going to do it, right? And that's ultimately what the big issue was. If you remember also in 2023, we had banks who took customers' money and they went and they bought treasuries. Those treasuries went underwater, right? Now, the difference is the bank said, we're going to take your money, we're going to go and do this. So there's disclosures, there's regulation, there's all these different things, but we had banks fail. And
Wait, so if you tell us it's okay, but if you don't tell us it's a bad thing? Like, well, you don't know, don't hurt you, usually anyways.
Crypto exchanges fail. And they fail for different reasons. But ultimately, I think what the average person is going to start to figure out is I need to pay attention. I need to know, where am I putting my money? The days of simply just putting your money in an organization and hoping that it's still there years from now is gone. And so I think that the internet has really opened people's eyes and they're starting to understand, what is FDIC insurance? How do I actually protect this stuff? And I think that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for this generation, again, Bitcoin was born in the ashes of the global financial crisis. And we now are seeing the capitulation of Wall Street where they are saying we have to get in the game.
And yet, the big banks, the legacy banks, appear to be part of writing the Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act, the new regulations. What role, if any, should the big legacy banks, and we know that Jamie Dimon absolutely hates Bitcoin. He calls it fraud. Yeah, I know. What a shock to you.
JP Morgan is doing stuff in crypto,
but
right?
he's made it very clear.
Yeah, and he's buying shit in the background. He was actually labeled in BlackRock's S1 form.
He doesn't like it. But what role, if any, should the legacy banks have in writing the regulation that would deal with crypto?
Well, I think that obviously anytime you have the market participants writing the regulation, there's a lot of questions, right? For a long time, I've always thought that if you're a politician and you get put into office by donations from a certain industry, you shouldn't be able to regulate over that industry.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
And so having the banks write the banking regulation, it's just regulatory capture. But the difference here, and what I think is really important for people to understand, is Bitcoin is a decentralized organization. There is no CEO. There's no board of directors. You can write whatever rules you want. It is a decentralized protocol. And so your regulatory capture does not work against something that now has been deemed not a security and has been adopted by hundreds of millions of people around the world. So you may be able to capture the market in other parts of finance, but Bitcoin is going to remain resilient against those regulatory capture initiatives.
Pomp, we've got lobbyists from the farm industry and big oil on the phone for you. They're not real happy, but I'm with you. I think that
I love everyone.
Colors judgment for sure. Pomp, is great to see you.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to Anthony Pomp. He is amazing. And he does have his own channel. If you guys haven't seen him, it's right here. Actually, I'll put a link in the chat because he deserves more subs than he has. He's actually fantastic. He has a few interviews on there too. If you guys are interested, go check those out later today. All right, Crypto World CNBC. Bitcoin prices retreat. MicroStrategy's Saylor sells 216 million in stocks to buy Bitcoin. If you guys didn't know, let's do it.
Today, Bitcoin gives back some of its New Year's gains. MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor is selling nearly $216 million worth of the company's shares. And Kane Warwick of Synthetics breaks down what to expect from Ethereum in 2024.
Don't sleep on Ethereum. Saying.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Bitcoin's tumbling today, giving back some of its gains from yesterday's rally. As of noon Eastern, the price of Bitcoin dipped more than 5%, dropping to the $43,000 level. The move lower comes one day after the cryptocurrency surged more than 6%, hitting the $45,000 mark for the first time in nearly 2 years. Other cryptocurrencies, including Ether and Solana, also in the red today. Ether falling nearly 6% and Solana sinking 9.5%, dropping below the $100 mark. Now, the crypto declines follows Nasdaq's worst day since October as traders pulled back from tech stocks after they led the advance last year. In crypto and in traditional markets, all eyes remain on the Fed and potential rate cuts. During the Fed's last meeting in December, officials opted to hold rates steady and suggested 3 rate cuts in 2024. Yesterday, however, Richmond Federal Reserve President Thomas Barkin warned that although he sees a soft landing ahead, rate hikes remain on the table. As of noon Eastern, crypto-focused stocks, including Coinbase and MicroStrategy, were also in the red. Bitcoin miners were a mixed bag, with Marathon bucking the overall trend, rising 1%. Coinbase is coming off a nearly 10% drop yesterday, experiencing its worst daily decline since June 2023, even as Bitcoin rallied to a 21-month high. The crypto miners also failed to see gains from the Bitcoin rally, reversing earlier moves higher, closing the first trading session of the year slightly in the red.
The big guys aren't stupid.
Okay, let's
They're taking gains.
Talk about the top stories. Michael Saylor is selling nearly $216 million worth of shares in MicroStrategy. This filing from yesterday shows the 315,000 shares were acquired by stock options. A MicroStrategy spokesperson did not get back to us right away, but during the company's Q3 earnings call, Saylor was asked about his intentions to exercise his stock options and said that in 2014 he was granted a stock option of 400,000 shares, which is set to expire in April. He went on to explain that the money earned from the sale would be used to address some financial obligations as well as fund his own personal Bitcoin account. MicroStrategy is the largest publicly traded holder of Bitcoin, and last week it added more of the cryptocurrency to its portfolio, putting the company's holdings at a value worth more than $8 billion. The company's stock soared nearly 350% in 2023.
That's
Next,
insane.
Brian Kelly, founder and CEO of digital currency investment firm BK Asset Management, says that we're now experiencing the beginning of crypto's next bull market. Speaking on CNBC's Fast Money yesterday, Kelly added that a lot of the speculative fever around spot Bitcoin ETFs is likely reaching a crescendo this week. He argued that a sell-off would be a dip to buy because there are still a lot of people that have not been able to include Bitcoin in their portfolios. So even a 1 to 5% allocation in IRAs or from private wealth managers who will likely be buying the ETF over the course of the year will make a significant difference in the cryptocurrency's price. Kelly also addressed the broader crypto market and discussed his outlook for altcoins in 2024.
When we talk about stocks, we talk about the breadth of the market and the breadth widening out to the mid and the small caps, and that's usually the sign of a healthy bull market. We're seeing that in crypto right now. Names like Polkadot or Cosmos Atoms or even Solana or some of these kind of, and those aren't second tier, those are probably, higher in the the first tier, but you're starting to see the rally broaden out. And most importantly, you're actually seeing from some of these cryptocurrencies actual things being built on them. So we're seeing decentralized exchanges getting a lot of activity. We're seeing decentralized lending and places in the DeFi space starting to get a lot of loans going out there and a lot of total value locks. So all these indicators are telling me that the bull market is broadening, the fundamentals are supportive, and I think we're probably in the beginning of this 12 to 18 month bull market, which should spread to the rest of the currencies.
All right, let's focus on Ethereum for our main story. The second largest blockchain network had a major upgrade in 2023, and its token mounted a huge comeback in the months since then, up more than 80% in the last 12 months. So what's next? Crypto World's Jordan Smith spoke to Kane Warwick of Synthetics late last month to find out.
Real quick, we had a question in the chat. So I don't see Hivemapper. If you guys didn't know, it's going to be listed on Coinbase. But when you guys purchase somewhere here, you fill out your shipping info and it tells you, I forget, last night when I ordered another one, again, code CCXD, you'll give you 10% off, so save $30. It said somewhere, I forget where, to be honest. It told me the batch that it was going to be released on. So I don't know where it said it. I think it was possibly right before I hit you know, buy or purchase or whatever, or right after when it gave me the order confirmation. So that's yeah, that's probably the best thing I could give you. But I think it says, like, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was either March or May, unfortunately, but is what it is. They probably got like crazy amounts of sales right now. All right. I mean, if you guys want to make money on honey, like, just swap some coin into it. My opinion, not financial advice. That's what I would do. That's what I did do last night, as well as purchase a unit while I wait.
So let's start with a look back at 2023 for Ethereum.
Front page says May, says Mr. Pringle. All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
We had the Shanghai upgrade this year. We had that huge price recovery from the lows at the start of the year. What was the big story for Ethereum in 2023?
To be honest, I don't think there was a big story for Ethereum. I think that's part of what's kind of going on with the most recent Ethereum price action. Ethereum has done everything that it said that it would over the last 3, 4, 5 years, right?
Oh, you're right. It is right here. Sorry, in the chat. Anybody that's wondering. All right, yeah. Estimated delivery for new orders placed today, May 2024. It said it somewhere too when I was buying it, but yeah. And it's fully refundable, by the way. You can get your money back if you guys want to take it back out, or before it ships, whatever, you get your money back. So, I mean, not really big risk for under $300. It's a pretty good deal.
Proof of stake,
you can make that in a week driving.
L2s are happening. Everything is kind of set up for Ethereum to really dominate. But there hasn't been a huge catalyst, I would say, this year. It's just been, a slow grind back up.
Yeah, that slow grind you mentioned, layer twos and some of the other things that are working in the background on Ethereum. And 2023 was sort of touted as the year to build for developers and crypto and Web3. And how did that idea of heads down and build really translate into the network this year, especially at a time when there's been a slowdown in trading volume and VC funding across the board?
I think we're seeing a lot of things that were funded even over the last, cycles, say from 2020, 2021, even into 2022, that are going live now, only at the end of the year. A lot of this tech can take a long time to build, and it can take a while for it to come to fruition. Similarly with the overall Ethereum roadmap, the kind of core technical upgrades have taken quite a while to get to where they need to be. So I think that everything is positioned now for Ethereum to really dominate next year. But throughout this year, it really has been heads down building, and a lot of people are scrambling even as we kind of round out the end of the year to get things live this year so that they're ready to go for next year.
If we look ahead to 2024, JP Morgan recently put out a report that said Ethereum would outperform Bitcoin in the new year thanks to proposed upgrades to reduce transaction costs and boost speeds. Do you agree with that sentiment that the upgrades that are coming are going to be such a boon for the Ethereum network, even with hype around spot Bitcoin ETFs here in the US or the halving that may drive interest in Bitcoin?
I think the interesting thing this cycle is that Ethereum has now been the number 2 asset for, other than like a brief blip where Ripple passed it for a few months in 2018, 2019, about 7 years. It's been the number 2 crypto asset, right? And for good reason. it has dominated transaction activity. It's dominated the narratives from NFTs to decentralized finance. And we now are sort of in this position where as Bitcoin, as it typically does at the start of a cycle, as the Bitcoin dominance cycle starts to grow, what would typically happen is those Bitcoin profits would be rotated out into, alternative assets, right? Longer tail assets. And Ethereum was typically one of those. But it feels to me like Ethereum is now in a position where it has become so dominant that people are actually skipping over Ethereum and going to things like Solana and, even layer 2 scaling solutions and, longer tail assets, more speculative assets. And so I think Ethereum is kind of a victim of its own success in that regard a little bit, because it has been so dominant for so long and people don't see the upside in it. That said, Ethereum has a habit throughout, a bull market of having these, kind of crazy catalyst weeks where, it can go 5, 10, 15, 20% up in a week. And I do think we'll see that in 2024. But what the catalyst will be, we don't necessarily know ahead of time.
I don't think he's wrong at all. Ethereum is definitely going to have some sort of run up for some reason that is obviously unknown, but it always does ride with Bitcoin. It is the second largest ETF, so just around the corner for that as soon as the Bitcoin ones are approved, for sure.
Yeah, you brought up some of the competition there, and I was actually going to ask you as part of my next question, where the competition for Ethereum stands as we head into 2024. You talked about Solana. I also think about Polygon and some of the others. How much trouble will they be for Ethereum? I hate to call it trouble because they're all working towards similar goals. They're all trying to build on their own respective networks. But how much competition will that be for Ethereum as we head into 2024? Or is it still poised to be the solid number 2 compared to Bitcoin?
So I think there's two components there. Crypto is always a competition for attention, right? And at the moment, Bitcoin is very much in the limelight, as you say, due to ETFs and the halvening and some of these things that are coming up, some of these events that are coming up. And Ethereum doesn't necessarily have any one catalyst like that. It has been this slow growth, right? What has happened though over the last year is there has been this consolidation around the Ethereum ecosystem in terms of the layer 2 scaling, right? That Ethereum roadmap of Ethereum mainnet as the data layer and all of these other execution layers in the form of Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, etc. We've seen even huge companies like Coinbase using Ethereum and Optimism as their sort of foray into these on-chain transactions, and so that's been a really powerful narrative that we've seen. What has also happened is some of the competing layer 1 networks, the other networks that were taking attention away from Ethereum, have kind of pivoted to come back into the ecosystem and become L2s, right? So Celo is a great example of that. What that's done, I think, has created a bit of a power vacuum for Solana to be this credible threat. And so I think we will probably see this cycle, Solana get solidified as the number 3 crypto asset, where you'll have Bitcoin, then Ethereum as the dominant smart contract platform, but Solana as this fast follower platform that will likely take up a lot of attention and have a lot of activity happening in that ecosystem.
Something that you just said goes right into my last question, which was, what do you see for institutional adoption of Ethereum? Institutions seem to be getting more and more interested in crypto once again for things like tokenization of real world assets. And so what's Ethereum's role in that going forward? And can it capture that attention versus some of its competitors?
I think it will. And again, I think this is what's going to happen in terms of this slow grind up or, this slow growth for Ethereum. There is no major catalyst. It's just going to be constant adoption. It is by far the dominant platform. And, it's the dominant platform for a reason. It has the best tech. It has the best, engineers. It has, the widest adoption. And so I think that as an institution looking to do things with smart contracts, Ethereum's the obvious choice. It's becoming a little bit like, the old IBM trope of, no one ever got fired for choosing IBM. And so choosing Ethereum becomes just the obvious default choice. That said, I think Solana and potentially some of the other chains will have a chance to challenge Ethereum. But for now, it's really going to be, I think, Ethereum's game to lose. And then the question is, can Ethereum do what the Ethereum community has been predicting for a very long time, either next year or the following year in the cycle, which is flip Bitcoin? because that would be the real catalyst. If Ethereum is able to flip Bitcoin, which requires a 4 or 5x price appreciation relative to Bitcoin, that would extremely catalyze, I think, the next couple of years of activity and shift the narrative. But it's, again, that's for Ethereum to kind of pull off.
Yeah, I don't think Ethereum's going to be flipping Bitcoin anytime soon, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is definitely has the potential rather to have like a 5x. In the charts, I mean, in the live chat rather, I actually just put so there's a new app called Natix or Natix, however you're supposed to say it. It's Drive. Let me see. It's like it's basically like a Hivemapper. You use your phone to drive and video, kind of like the Hivemapper, right? This is a totally new project, not worth anything, hasn't been listed anywhere. Totally skeptical, but it's free. It's an app. So if you guys want to try it, feel free. Links there. You get 10,000 free tokens once you do join the app. So I did it just to get the 10,000 tokens, and if it goes to a cent, if I can get a free $10 or whatever, if it goes to $1, who knows? It'd be crazy, right? Just I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. You guys can give it a shot. If you guys are salty about Hivemapper or whatever, and you missed the boat on it, then there you go. And if you guys didn't know, if anybody's just joining, Coinbase did come out and say that they are going to be listing Hivemapper, or they got it on their roadmap to examine it for listing. So this is big news for Honey and Hivemapper as a whole. Again, this is Hivemapper. If you guys don't know, $300, $285 after the coupon code CCXD, 10% off. Pretty it's not bad. Honestly, it was $285 with shipping, so wasn't bad, but you're not going to get it for like 3 months. So you can either just swap some into it or do what you want. Buy one, miss the boat, whatever. I don't care. Anyways, all right, let's get into videos, guys. That like button, 58 likes, 175 people here. They're lying to you about the Bitcoin ETFs. Crypto Crash explained. Let's see what Mr. Austin over at Altcoin Daily has to say about this. Let's do it.
Bitcoin just absolutely puking, as I like to say.
The Bitcoin price pulled back today,
Totally erasing some of those gains so far.
dipping 9% and virtually erasing yesterday's gains.
Prices tumbling by the most on an intraday basis since back in March.
And with a major reason for the dip being the massive amount of liquidations that just happened.
Now, this is, of course, ahead of the SEC's January 10th deadline to decide on a spot Bitcoin ETF.
Will the spot Bitcoin ETF approvals be a sell the news event?
Anticipation of that upcoming event might be part of this. We could be seen heading into that day, maybe buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah, oh my God, Bitcoin's burning. It's 42.20. I mean, 42,250. It's like the world's ending when we pull back $2,000 when we shot up over 100% this year.
But then as we get closer.
So what triggered this liquidation was a report from Matrixport, a financial services company that put out an article saying they expect the SEC to reject all ETF applications this month.
No, this was last night. He put this video out yesterday, I think. So again, I just basically I go through all the news and all the videos that I miss with you guys in the mornings just because I've been doing it myself anyways. He put this out yesterday. So I think it's like 43, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what Bitcoin's at. 43,466, if anybody's wondering. All right.
The Bitcoin price dumped 9% in 1 hour on the basis of this report. And their justification? Number one, politics, being 5 of the voting SEC commissioners are Democrats. And 2, justification, applicants like BlackRock still haven't satisfied the SEC's requirements. Now, this is understood to be just one analyst's opinion.
Well, their requirements are a pain in the ass, not to mention they did just label JP Morgan as their active participants in the S1 filing. So if that doesn't help, I don't know what will.
Yes, it has been largely debunked, his reasoning. Good note from Alex earlier this morning on the Matrixport note. Several of their supporting arguments are nonsensical. Number one, being cherry-picked information that the bull run was kicked off by Franklin Templeton's September ETF filing. No mention of the fact that Invesco, WisdomTree, VanEck, Fidelity, and ARK had already filed, and all have more ETF assets under management than Franklin Templeton. Number 2 point of the report to take issue with, that all ETF applications still lack a critical requirement. Here, they are apparently referring to the fact that the issuers all have surveillance sharing agreements with Coinbase, but Coinbase is only 11% of the spot market. Which,
for real, they're really, that's ridiculous.
Even if true, it's irrelevant because apparently they missed the DC Circuit Court of Appeals ruling, which negated this question with the reasoning surveilling futures markets was sufficient because futures and spot prices were mathematically indistinguishable. Other commodity ETFs also surveilled the futures, and the same 24 hours that all this was happening. Update: both BlackRock and JP Morgan are instructing staff to be prepared for a spot Bitcoin ETF approval imminently. The source at JP Morgan directly said, instructions have been to make sure the rails, Cash Create, are properly prepared for a quick turnaround. Also, timeline-wise, the SEC has lined this up. Reminder, the SEC back in November delayed the Franklin hashtag applications a full 24 business days before their second deadline. The only rationale for such a move was to align comment periods for potential simultaneous approval. So assuming this gets approved, will we see a sell the news event?
As a trader, my gut always tells me things go higher, I get a little bit scared, right? So I do think a lot of the speculative fever around the ETF is probably reaching a crescendo this week. So yeah, could we get a sell-off? Sure. But I think that would be a sell-off, a dip to buy. Because remember,
Facts.
There are still a lot of people that have not been able to buy Bitcoin for their portfolio. So even a 1 to 2 to even 5% allocation in IRAs or from private wealth managers, they're going to be buying the ETF over the year.
Now, yeah,
I'm going to be honest. Once this ETF approval does happen, I honestly do think we are going to have a sell the news event. That's just my opinion. We're probably going to get, it's the halving that's really the big deal. I don't think it's the ETF as much right now. And once it gets approved, it's going to take months for it to come into effect. So you can't just like throw money into it tomorrow if it gets approved tomorrow. You know what I mean? So we're going to see some sort of rip down, if I had to guess, and then a rip up after that.
Different countries globally already offer spot Bitcoin ETF products today, led by Canada.
In Canada, we have a spot Bitcoin ETF. One of the reasons why people think that this is going to be a sell the news event is because the flows with that ETF haven't been as anticipated. And I think that that's one of the biggest narratives, that we've seen this huge price run up going into this event.
But if there was any doubt that these were not getting approved in the next week, breaking. Fidelity just filed a registration of securities for its spot Bitcoin ETF. Form 8A is a registration statement used by companies to register securities with the
Wow, that's kind of neat. That's actually really neat. I didn't know that.
SEC. For a pending ETF approval, filing this form can be a significant step. It shows that this train isn't stopping, it's going faster.
Yeah, I think everybody's a little bit too worried about what happens in the next week or in the next month. Really what this is JP Morgans of the world, the BlackRocks of the world, giving kind of a light of approval for Bitcoin as an institutional asset. And the ETF approval really opens the door for these passive flows to come from institutions, right? Where this has mainly been a retail asset for a long time. There's the recognition that on a risk-adjusted basis, this is the superior asset, right? Everybody talks about the volatility. What are they missing is the fact that passive allocation on a long time frame puts Bitcoin, head and heels above every other asset class. If you start dollar cost averaging the day Bitcoin hit its all-time high until today, you're up 67% in Bitcoin compared to 23% on the NASDAQ, 11% for gold, and you're negative on bonds, right? So that's what people are missing here. This is a much bigger story than just the ETFs, and it's more so BlackRock's and the JP Morgans of the world capitulating.
And break.
He's not wrong. So DCAing, Steve Mint actually said this in the chat, just DCA, and that's probably the best way to just get into crypto and not really worry about it. Don't put more than you can afford to lose ever. Just DCA what you can afford. $20 a week, $20 a month, $10 a month, whatever you can do, $100 a month. It's just one of those things. It's smart to just DCA because overall you're going to win if you're just DCAing versus lose, right?
Goldman Sachs is now in talks to join JP Morgan and be an authorized participant for BlackRock and Grayscale Bitcoin ETFs.
Join JP Morgan. Isn't that interesting?
To think that this recent dump was a big stop hunt before approval, meaning flushing the liquidation out of the system was actually healthy for the market. So the
biggest thing you can learn from JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon is basically don't listen to what they say, just watch what they do, and that's pretty much what you should do, right?
Personally think that
so
there
ridiculous.
will be a bit of a sell the news event upon approval, just like when we saw with gold ETF approval for the first time ever back in 2004. It was a run up into the approval in price, and the sell-off, of course, what it meant for the space for gold was overwhelming.
That's actually a perfect chart to look at. You can see the sell-off right after, which is, it's really insignificant to the actual pump it had, but you're always going to have ups and downs, right? So obviously, again, buy the rumor, sell the news, and then, over time, it actually just gradually rose.
The price really only went up for the next 5 years. Now, for those of you who ask me which different crypto categories are primed for a positive 2024, DPIN is a big one.
Remember the term, because it's the next big thing in Web3.
It stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks, which are blockchain protocols that build, maintain, and operate infrastructure in the physical world in an open, decentralized manner.
This is chill.
Peak is a layer 1 for DPIN.
Now, many of you have been asking me about Peak. They're a channel partner. They're one of the world's fastest growing DPIN ecosystems. We see the actual...
Has anybody heard of this DPIN ecosystem? I haven't personally.
Numbers.
DPINs are physical infrastructure networks. You can think of charging stations or 5G hotspots, which communities crowdsource together and then provide connectivity or energy through those networks. And instead of big corporates earning all that money and generating all that value, the community who builds that infrastructure earns and owns the infrastructure.
Now, the news today is this.
This is kind of a big deal, actually. Bosch is a big name brand, no joke. Miss Randy Hipper in the house. Perfect. You changed your name. What's going on with that? I'm just kidding. Miss Teen Crypto, appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
We're thrilled to welcome Bosch, the world's largest sensor manufacturer, to DPIN, a giant step towards peak-ready DPIN hardware. So obviously, this sector of crypto is going to be huge.
DPINs are estimated to be a total of 3.5 trillion by 2028 alone. That's a massive market opportunity.
So I will keep you updated on different up-and-coming trends in crypto like this. And even though Bitcoin's...
someone said Filecoin's also DPIN, says Alvidus. Nice, I didn't know that.
Today, MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor is selling almost $216 million worth of his own shares to buy more Bitcoin.
I was granted a stock option in 2014 with respect to 400,000 shares, which is going to expire next April if I don't exercise it by then. For almost a decade now, at my request, the company has only paid me a $1 salary, and I've chosen not to be eligible for any cash bonuses.
I feel like he's talking like this is a deep fake right now, to be honest, but I'm not sure that it is.
Exercising this option will allow me to address some financial obligations as well as to acquire additional Bitcoin for my personal account. Under my trading plan, I plan to exercise and sell 5,000 shares on each.
Doesn't it seem fake? Is it just me? Does it seem fake? It looks fake AF, right? It's not just me. It can't just be me.
Trading day, beginning on January 2nd, 2024, and ending on April 25th, subject to a minimum price condition. This means the sale will take place over almost 4 months. If you'd like more details about the plan, I would refer you to the 10Q. I continue to be optimistic about MicroStrategy's prospects and should note that my equity stake in the company after these sales will remain very significant.
That is the
video. He was talking like he ate a whole pack of saltines and just like, no drink of water. Like this is pretty much what's going on. Anyways, all right, let's get out. Let's recap, guys. You guys have any questions about anything? If anybody's just joining, if you guys haven't seen, again, Hivemapper and Coinbase. According to last minute development, Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the US, added Hivemapper Honey altcoin to its roadmap to examine it for listing. There's no date that this is going to be projected listed on the exchange, but Honey is not on any major exchanges as of right now, or really any good ones, to be honest. So if you guys are interested in Hivemapper, go check it out. It's pretty neat, right? I mean, $300, stupid cheap for this. And again, I'm not like trying to shill this. I've made like $250 in a week, and it's easy. You just plug it into your car and you just let it run while you're running, and then you hook up the app and allow the images to upload at some point when you get home. It's really not a big deal. But Matt Electron in a week has made literally $1,000 to like $1,200 from driving his truck. He's a truck driver, so it's like the most worth it freaking thing, and it just doesn't cost much to get into it. $30 off CCXD. If you guys are interested, go check it out. Unfortunately, it's not going to come for a couple months, but if you guys, if you want to get into it. If not, just swap some coin into it. You guys might actually make out that way as well when the listing does happen. But yeah, I guess it's on Orca, Radium, and that's it right now. You can use the Phantom wallet if you guys don't have don't know where to get it. Use Phantom. You can use Solana and just swap into it, or you can use USDC on the Solana network to get Hivemapper, or Honey rather. So pretty awesome. I'm holding thousands or so ETC POW. You're holding ETC POW, really? Let's see. ETC POW actually just started their burning. I mentioned this yesterday. Oh my god, freaking bumming. 50 cents. This project is going down. It's going down quick. I guess you can actually stake this as well over on Hibiswap, if I'm not mistaken. But holy shit, this is really taking a hit. Last day, god damn. Let's see, 30 days. These CoinGecko charts are complete ass, by the way, but whatever. It's just it's easier to go here than my trading view. I'm not logged in on this computer. We have 52 cents. Low a couple weeks ago was 65. So it's it clearly didn't hold. But it did get up over $2.82. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it. Let's see. Just look, LTC is down 66% compared to BTC. Oof, I'll stop complaining now. Crypto 440. I'm not gonna lie. I think LTC is majorly undervalued. I really do. You guys have to think, right? There is only so many coins that are actually payment like methods when you go to check out certain places, right? Like it's always Bitcoin and Litecoin. Like those are the two that you always see. I mean, at least I always see, right? Litecoin, I have no doubt in my mind that this will get close to $300 at least in the bull run, like minimum. There's no reason it won't. It runs up every single time. Actually, no, let's look at this shitty chart over here. Let's go to the max chart. Litecoin. Let's just see. Last all-time high was higher than the previous one, right? What was this all-time high? What did it get to? It says $410. Like, this is exactly why I say this chart shit. It doesn't even go over the number that it says it got to. On, like, it literally tells you the all-time high, and it doesn't even go up there. Oh, it's ridiculous. Anyways, but listen, there's no reason. I don't think Litecoin's going anywhere. Like, look at that. You could just look at the lows. Look at the lows and the confidence. It's gradually increased over time. $65 is steal to get this coin, at least in my opinion, but not financial advice. You guys do what you want. I still hold ETH 100%. I got in at 420 trade like snipe. Oh, that's called FOMO, my friend. That's called FOMO. That's what happens. Let's see. LTC is technology superior. 100% agree. Oh, perfect. Didn't mean to do that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. It is really. What's trending now? Let's see. NIZA Global. I gotta get out of here in a second. I gotta get back to daddy duty. Wife's gotta get to work. All right, NIZA Global. What is this? It is ranked 476. It's trending on CoinGecko. I actually like the fact they have this trending thing now, and they can show you guys what people are into. Looks like a let's see, circulating supply, market cap 71 million market cap. Let's see, again, ranked 476. Check out the max chart here quick, just for shits. We have it was under a penny, went to about a penny in November. Yeah, from November it's actually actually I lied. What am I saying? No, yeah, that's right, it's 2023. Yeah, November. From November, it's had a pretty decent run up actually until right now. So about a month and a half or so. Not even. Real quick, DJ Death Star, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the $10 super chat, keeping the stream alive. Says, wish I could find a Hive aftermarket for under 1,000. 5 months is a long time to wait, and it may go further for shipping. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It absolutely could. But one of those things is, right, like I said, if you don't want to miss the boat on like a major exchange, you can always swap into it. But the only thing that I'm a little bit iffy about is the fact that I didn't realize when I was reading this until like today, is the fact that it says the altcoin to its roadmap to examine it for listing. Coinbase has a thing where they will deep dive these projects hard before they give an actual approval. So it's not a guaranteed thing this is going to go on Coinbase. This is just it's a positive statement that it might go on Coinbase. Okay, it's not guaranteed, but to me, it's not a bad risk. This thing's run up to 37 cents without any type of listing, right? It's not on any major exchanges. Only time will tell. Coinbase is a very good one. Very good outlook, at least in my opinion. Crypto KJ, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the 7-month membership, and Mr. Joker Miner for 14 months. Appreciate you guys. Thanks to financial advice, ETC POW sold ASICS for ETC POW node, and now the rope is getting shorter. Thanks again. Hey, listen, I just made the video, bro. I didn't tell you to go buy it. Not my fault. You sold ASICS. Jeez. Terrible. Let's see. What is ASICS looking like? Oh man, you're gonna be kicking yourself in the ass. Let me see. What is it? SATOX. ASICS. 894th place ranked. Let's see. It is a $21 million market cap. Let's just see. Where's the 30-day chart? Crypto KJ sold it all like right here to buy ETC POW, and then it just fucking boner candle. Oh, sorry to laugh at you, but that's terrible. That sucks. You know what, dude? We've all been there though. We've all freaking been there. All been there. It happens. You know what I mean? It's, you win some, you lose some. You just don't ever see, like, that's the biggest thing in the crypto space. When people make videos, that's probably not the time to jump right in, right? Typically when we're talking about it, it's already too late. That's how it goes, and it's unfortunate. But I put that video out literally before anybody else did, in the risk that I was going to lose out, and I absolutely lost out. It sucks. I lost out too. It wasn't just you. You know what I mean? I put my own money in. I wasn't sponsored by the project. I wasn't sponsored by anything for that video, and I straight up just did it myself. And a lot of people were giving me shit for it before I released it, but I did it just because it was a chance that we could make some money, and you know what? Wanted you guys to be on it too, but is what it is. Again, you win some, you lose some. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I have to get out of here. Daddy duty calls. Hopefully you guys have a great and happy Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, to go over some more news. You guys have a good day. I'll catch you soon. Peace out.